He's gonna bring up some massive points, and I want to talk about the mess. Oh my gosh, this camera work is utterly terrible. I'm recording on my tablet because my phone is doing something right now. It's called uploading a video. So I'm gonna give you guys this for what I can. It's not about, as long as you can hear me, that's the important part. It's not about if you can see the face. You don't have to see my. I can't even do. All I gotta do is slow. That's stupid. Oh yeah, I don't like this at all. Yeah, you need to hurry up, phone. But let's see what he has to say. And I know Dragon Ball Legends been making some changes, and we're gonna talk about it as the video goes on because he has some massive points you're gonna bring up. Nope.
Talk about today's video. Now, I actually was debating whether or not.
Let's start off with the obvious. He's about to bring up. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched a few minutes of it, but he brought up one. I watched up to when he was talking about the news. Then I went back to go talk about more. He was talking about something I talked about in my video already. Those two characters could have been our anniversary. They were possibly our anniversary character. We got the wrong character. We got robbed because Legends All-Star could have been skipped, but it's not because these characters are actually good and are actually worth the time to go out and get. So me and me alone probably believe that should have swapped if it was up to me. I had a feeling Oob was coming. I had a feeling. I said it. But I didn't expect Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I was expecting the kind of kid Goku. But I was kind of expecting also an adult Goku that transforms. Maybe I think that'd be kind of a little bit cooler. But cooler. Dum. All right.
I'm gonna skip this banner because I'll be real with you. Character-wise, I'm not the biggest fan of Oob and Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
He's racist. I'm kidding. No. I'm just kidding. No, he's not. It's a joke. Twitter, calm down. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm weird sometimes. I don't even know why.
Goku, while I enjoy Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the GT version as a kid, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Although I will say that this art is ridiculous. Every single time that the Legends team releases a new card, they blow me away with the art. It's so good. And not just that, both of these guys are actually very, very good. In fact, they're so good that I have a theory that I feel like Ice and Noah were never meant to be part of the 3rd anniversary, and instead it was supposed to be Maju and Goku. They even have ultimates, and I feel like Ice and Noah were supposed to come out today, and they realized, well, maybe we should swap them. Now, there's no proof to this. It's complete theoretic, and all the other Dragon Ball content creators for Legends are also saying the same thing. But this is all basically this kind of an idea that we had, because it just felt weird if they gave us Ice and Nova when Oob and Goku fit. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. So, first things first, do you want to summon on this? I always say if you like the character, go for it. But this is not a game that's meant to be.
I will state this. To answer that question, should you summon? Yes and no. It depends on what you need and what you have. If you're a person that wants to use GT more often, and you feel like your GT characters are out of date and they're not bringing what they need, yes, summon on this banner and try to do it. Summon until it fades away. But if you don't care for this, you don't have to. These characters are not a must-have in the grand scheme of things. You can, and here's my thing, there's something I didn't say in my video, and this is my mistake. Any character in Dragon Ball Legends can be viable. All you have to have is skill-wise for them. If they're in the meta or not in the meta, it doesn't in particular matter all the time because you can still use those characters. You do not need 100% of the characters that are on the banner. You don't always need that. Sometimes you need the characters that were 3 months ago to finish something because they were in up your alley of kind of characters. Because some people can't just use straight up. Let's say, put it like this example. A character that's a one-trick pony. That's basically. We don't really have any one-trick ponies. Okay, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. Perfect example. Okay, so there's three different, at the time of recording, there is three different Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, right? There's three different versions of the same character. Now, all three are on different levels. One has the ability when swapped in, heals him when he comes into the battle. The other one is basically more of the powerhouse of it all, while the third version is just trash. Like he's supposed to be like the king of both of them, but he's really not. He's a kind of okay thank you unit, but not the unit he should be. For an LF standard, he is very much draining a lot. He's probably good. He's good at certain parts. Do not get me wrong. He isn't like the end all to be all when it comes to the standards of an LF unit. He's not at all. But somebody can make those three in particular work. Somebody with using those three characters can make that work. Now, if they released this basically a same kind of three, if they released those characters on like let's say back to back to back, but just months apart from each other. And we didn't know this. We got the purple one first. I would tell you to summon because he's worth it. The green one comes out. I would tell you to summon because he's worth it. And if the LF one comes out, I wouldn't say you're necessarily worth it unless you need or you just want him. He's not a necessary unit, in my personal opinion. He's not a necessary to cover for yellow in particular. We have a GT Vegeta that does very good to this day. That may not be on top of the tier list, but he is very good. He's pretty much in the A portion of it. He's pretty much in the he can be missed, but he can also be used. He can be benched. He can be mained. He can be whatever. He's in that category. Should you summon on this banner? No. In the grand scheme of it, no. This is a skippable banner, which is why Majub and Goku should have been anniversary, and the other two units should have been here. So it would have been easier for you to skip this banner because you would have known that they're not worth it. But hey, let's keep continuing on.
Summon on everything that they release. You're just not meant to do that. The only reason why I'm doing it is because I'm an idiot, I like the game, and on top of that, I have lots to talk about today. So first things first, the units themselves. They're very, very good. They both got the degenerate green card, where if you do like the, where you activate it, it attacks like the whole close range, you know, like the 6 squares. It's not like full screen, but like, it's kind of like the yellow Gohan and the UI Goku green card, where it just blows you away. Anytime a card has that, it's very, very good. But on top of that, the Goku has a level 2 draw speed for just breathing. So the cards are actually very, very good, and they have to be for something like Majub and GT Goku, which is not really that hype. On top of that, coming from like the release of the anniversary and its full power Frieza, they gotta do something to make you want to summon on it. The good news is because it's All-Star banner number 1, it's a GSP, and 2, you actually can use crystals to get more Z power if you pull it. So that's always a win-win. So it's like if you got I hate this card so much. If you got the crystals for it, you like the characters, go for it. Now the big thing I want to talk about is the most recent news. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you want to hit the menu button and go to news over here, you'll notice they dropped another newsletter. I love the fact that they're doing this. The communication is good. Anytime you have a game and a developer where they talk.
And that brings me to another topic. This brings me back to when I talk about other app games that do this also. Other app games, of course, notify you when another update's coming and stuff like that. That's all fine and dandy, but are you going to tell us what the update is, or are you just going to update it until there's a maintenance coming? To what? PvP? What is it? What's being the thing? There's always room to improve in your game. No game should act like they're at the perfect stage. Naruto Blazing was a victim of it. And they were actually starting to change, but they did it in a kind of a late period, and they started to lose too much at that point. But there comes the thing of me towards a lot of these other games and stuff is communicate. Communication is key. Like a relationship, you have to communicate about certain things you're gonna do, certain things you want to do, certain things you want. You have to have a communication with the fan base. It's not, if you want to get the money from the players, you at least have to give them something back. Give them something worth to put their money into. Give them something worth it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be a money hungry person that has your hand out every time you update, and you're expecting so much money, but you get barely to anything, and eventually you have to shut down. I'm looking at Grand Summoners in particular, but that's more of rates and less, well, how many times do they really talk to the fans? Because I don't really know. I really don't pay attention too much to the news. When I do pay attention to the news, it's like when there's a collab going on. I feel like they collab like every 3 months at this point, but hey.
To the people to play the games, it's great. You know, say whatever you want about the Legends team, but they do listen. They've improved so much in their game from day one.
I think they said this, and I think he said this or somebody else said this, that Dragon Ball Legends is turned into like Dragon Ball Fighters Z, like Fighter Z. And I can agree with you because it feels like it is. It feels like it's becoming less of a just casual thing to do, and you play events and then you do that. It feels like it's steering you more towards one big thing is steering you more towards having more things to do, so you have more reasons to talk about the game. There are a lot of stuff that they're working on, like Tournament of Power. I love Tournament of Power. I love it. I hated it when it first came out, but I gave it some time like I should have, and I love it now. I'm actually something I can do real quick, something I could do like, I could do maybe 2 moves a day sometimes, and then move on. Sometimes I would do like 1 move a day, and then that's cool. I don't really complain because I get 1 step closer to the final portion. It's a risk-reward thing sometimes, because sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. PvP is debatable because it depends on what you run into. If you run into a complete Zenkai team, sometimes you get pissed because you want Legends to kind of fix the matchmaking system. You want to fight someone on your level. But if you increase on your level, because this is what I want personally. This is me real quick. I want when it comes to skill base wise to be even, or at least semi in that range. I don't want to get demolished by somebody that's not on my that's way past my skill, like that should be top rank, that should be past the 50 mark right now. I feel like that they should keep them in a certain place where they would never come across me. Why? Because who really wants to get demolished? Yeah, you would think, well, it's cool when I demolish others. Yeah, it's cool for you to do it. Yeah, it's cool when you're the one that's doing it, it's cool, but it's not when it's the opposite, when it's happening to you. But at the same time, I look at other people when I demolish them, I always wonder, is it a bot? Or if it is a real player, how did they get this far? How did they get to 32? With playing like this, how did they do it? Did they just play like once a day, level up once a day, and said I'm good? They play a live stream and then stop, let somebody else play, or did first time playing? What's going on here? I always wondered like stuff like that throughout the game. You reached the 40 and stuff before you started making it actually into the 50 mark and everything. But yeah, you can see.
And while they might make mistakes every now and then, like for example the Legends Pass, I think it's absolute dog shit. They do other.
I hate the Legends Pass and I love it at the same time. I hate it for one in particular reason. I hate it is because I don't think it's worth the risk reward. Well, it's not really risk, but I don't like the rewards to it. The reward basically looks at you and says, oh, hi, here's 50. Oh, here's 100. Here's 50, 100. I think, you can go up to like tier, you have like 10 tiers I think you have, and then that's it, and then you renew it after the time. I don't like that. But then it like you're basically, it's supposed to give you, let's say if you went off of just pure the tier list, you would get 1,000 for the free portion. I think you're supposed to be able to get 1,050. I think that's what you're supposed to be able to. I have to go look at it again. But and I know if you use the one for when you pay, I think it's basically guaranteed for you to get like 1,000. I think maybe I'm looking at it wrong from which one gives you the 1,000, because I don't think the one saying gives you the 1,000. Because if that's so, every time I finish, I should always be ready to go back for summoning. I think it only gives you 500 basically. I think that's basically what it sums up to. I don't really think it's worth it. I never really thought it was worth it. I just thought if I needed it at that moment, like let's say I was grinding out, playing other stuff, and somewhere. Don't get my eye, Jiminy Wiminy. That was just my thing about it. That was just my thing. I thought that it wasn't particularly worth it. I thought it was kind of more of only it was really worth it when it came to like stuff like, oh, I'm on like 800 and something, I'm close to 900, oh, I'm on 900, I just need a little bit more, this one's a 51, oh, this one's 100, okay, cool, let me go do PvP 3 times real quick, or do 5 times real quick, then come back.
Good start, it's very, very good. And in situations like the Legends Pass, I'm just not going to pay for it, and if you don't want to, you shouldn't either. I'm not going to tell you don't do it. I'm never going to tell people what they should or shouldn't do, especially when it comes down to money. You know, some might like the stuff that you get with it. I personally don't care. But yeah, the big thing I want to talk about though is the PvP features. So number one, we know they're doing this boost character thing, and two, leader slots. This on paper sounds very, very good. Now I'll go back into the summons. Let's talk about the actual boost characters.
Boost characters. I like the idea. I've been like the idea. I think they already tried it once. Then they kind of, pushed it down. Or I think they're doing it now in PvP. I haven't played PvP in a little bit. I'm gonna get back into it. I need to stop going to PvP doing good and then leaving as soon as I take like a massive loss or something like that. Because I think that's a normal trend for me. I play for a little bit. I get the little content I need out of it, and then I'll dip. No one really watches it anyway. It's just more of like for me, and less of just for the fans. That's just my thing. But hey, we'll continue on.
The whole point of the boost character system is they're trying to basically incentivize people to use more than the same 3 units. Now, if you don't go top 50 all the time, you won't really realize it. But in like the super high level play, it's basically just Sun Family left to right. It's Gohan, the Zenkai Gohan.
I will say this, if you want to play on a high level, and I apologize for pausing so much, but I'm talking to all of you who's going to watch the video or who needs to share this to somebody else. When it comes to PvP, if you want to use old units, you can. Do not let that meta trick you in thinking, oh, they're not viable anymore. No, they are. Trust me. I have a brother-in-law who plays this game. He doesn't have any new units. If he does, he barely gets them. And when he gets them, mainly he'll get them when they're no longer in the meta, when they're no longer Z tier. He'll get them when they're out of Z tier, and I still can get whooped on him because skill-wise, he's better. Even though I can obviously outskill him, it's just sometimes, I don't know, I play differently, depending upon who I'm up against. Sometimes I play over-aggressive, sometimes I don't. I think I've already talked about how I play and how I should play. Because I think I shown in a video I did 3 fights with the guy. I found out his age, and I'm kind of upset. He's only 14, and I got beat by... I'm sorry, he's only 14. He was supposed to play again today, but I guess he forgot. Or was it I forgot? I don't know, we'll figure that one out later. But either way it go, he's really good at the game, and I watched him beat other players older than him, and I'm just like, I'm getting 23, and I'm losing to a 14-year-old at a game that I play for content-wise, that he plays also for content-wise, but he does it for TikTok while I do it for YouTube. So it's a weird thing, but yeah. PvP basically boost the characters. It's worth it if you if you don't use. Because I don't really use the same characters a lot. If I do, it's from different teams. I use the same characters. And that's why I like mix-matching sometimes and doing experiments. Sometimes I don't like using them. But there are certain characters who will be in a meta. And we'll put it like this. That will be in a tier list as considered a really top unit that you should never sleep on. But people sleep on them anyway.
Maybe enter 18 here and there. It's basically like the most annoying team. What this boost system is here to do is see if we get something out of this. Probably not yet. I was waiting to see if Marov will pop out. I guess the unit would have popped out by then. What the boost system is meant to do is incentivize people to have more variety. That's why I like it. I think on paper it sounds fantastic. Cooler. Because it will basically incentivize you to use lesser important teams and will potentially make you not want to use the same core teams that are in top level play. Now, there's also potential bad with it. Like, let's say, what if you have just one team that you use, and that team just happens to be, I don't know, say, LOE, for example, right? They're probably not gonna do this, but let's say all use LOE. What if they get to the point where LOE gets punished for basically existing? Well, does that mean you just can't have fun in PvP? I don't think it's gonna be the case. I think the whole point of the boost system is to basically stop, basically go up from existing, Android 18 and stuff like that. So on paper, sounds great, what we got over here. Vegeta. On top of that, I say they're gonna improve it as it goes. So it's not gonna be one of those things where they drop it and then that's it. Game's dead. So whenever they release that, which should be later this year, it's important to add. Oh, he's actually good. It's important to add feedback of how you personally feel with the system. I think it's great. The main thing about it is the fact that it's going to add variety into the game, and anytime we do that, it's definitely healthy. Now, if you have any issues or feedback in regards to why you think it might be bad before it comes out, let me know your concerns down below.
I'll help you and I'll shorten it real quick. Some people are not gonna like it because they don't want to have to deal with characters that, because it depends upon who they give it to. Because they could give it to old characters that you should never see in the game, that you should never see in a PvP match unless it is for, how do I put it? Only for passive, like what they give to the team. What they give to other players, I mean not other players, but to other members of the team. That'd be the only way you should see them. You should never see them in the fight. You should only see them for their passive. Or if they have one good ability, for that one good ability, and you never see them in the fight ever again unless everyone else died in that last one. So I think that would probably be a major one. Other than that, I don't really think no one else really should have a problem with it. I say it before it really takes that much effect, because I think it's nice, because I am tired of seeing Android 18 basically, Zenkai Android 18 basically come up into the fight and just say, who did you bring? Oh, the top 2 units in the game? Cool, I'm gonna slap them real quick, come here. What? No, you have the element, I have the element advantage. I can beat you. I'm a ready unit. And I'm higher than you. I have higher damage. It doesn't matter. Thanks, Android 18, for the fairness in the game. So that's my thing for that. I wouldn't say difference in teams. I wouldn't say that, because everyone does already do difference in teams. It's just that they're not the most popular to happen. It's just, I guess it is basically the equivalent of pointing at the door a little bit more and saying you can do more than just Fusion. You can do more than just God Key. You can do more than Sun Family, more than just Androids. Because everyone, no matter, there's a lot of teams out there, there's a lot of people who would main one in particular team. There's someone out here who can use Super Warriors out here who can really run the Super Warriors team to the absolute peak of their abilities and really do some good stuff with. So there's someone out who can really run regeneration team, and just really stuff like that. I know that's not really a bad thing, because looking at a lot of people use the LF Kid Boo a lot when you go into like the upper tiers. And I'm about to start trying to use him. I keep trying to. Oh my gosh, I have a whole event to use. My phone's charging, I'll wait.
But on paper, like I said, and based on what they want to do with their goal with it, I think it's a fantastic idea. Now, the leader slot thing was completely like, I had no idea that they even think about doing this. Because, when they first announced the boost system, they didn't mention it was like, yeah, we're going to do something with PvP. They didn't say what it was. But as far as the leader thing, they didn't say anything about that. So it's like, complete news. I think it's potentially dope. If you have no idea what it is, basically you can designate a leader, and I don't know if this affects only characters in play. Like if you designate a leader, it has to be a character that you use in actual play, or if you can just, let's say, pick, I don't know, Kakunza and have her be leader and just put her on bench. Basically what happens when a card is a leader, that Z ability automatically becomes usable for the entire team. So you can take like full power Freeze out and put them on Sun Family. You can take Gotenks and put them on, like, I don't know, Region. And what that does...
So, I didn't know about this. I knew about that. That was news. I didn't read it all. I knew about the boost characters. I knew about that, but I didn't know about the leader. So it did throw me off, and I was waiting to see what he had to say, see what it was, because I didn't think he was going to talk about it at first. So I was like, I gotta go look it up. We'll see. What is this at the bottom of the screen? Oh, it's Goku. I was wondering. I kept seeing the black hair, and I was so lost. I was like, who is that? Is that Goku or is that Goku Black? I have no idea. But I don't know. That just sounds like a really good idea. So that means I could put someone that has like a really good buff that only distinctively goes to hybrids that I can use on any other team. Once again, you can really help with boosting other characters with stuff like that. It makes difference play, and that is what we need. We need more people to be able to play with different teams and not be nervous about it, to know that you can now stand up to different teams without that character having to be Zenkai, that you can just play, have fun, or if you play serious, you can play serious with that team. Congratulations. I love the idea, and I hope it really goes through.
It adds more variety. It adds more variety in how you can build teams, and for units that have, I guess, lesser options in building teams, it gives you more freedom to figure out something else and expands team building opportunities. Now the question is how bad might this be for PvP? We don't know yet. Like I said, until we actually play and sit down and test it out, it's tough to tell what it's going to do for the game. But like, I immediately was talking to Goresh and them, and then we were talking about like, so does that mean you can just take Super Saiyan God Goku to Redmond from like 2 years ago and immediately put him in every single team? Because he adds HP and critical boosts. Like, is that what I mean? Is that what the meta's going to be? I don't know yet. But I like changes like that because it's going to add something different to the game that's going to be refreshing. Can we get Vegeta? No, we cannot. It's going to add something that's going to be different and refreshing, and I feel like I like changes like that because it's going to add something different to the game that's going to be refreshing. Can we get Vegeta? No, we cannot. It's going to add something that's going to be different and refreshing, and I feel like the more variety and options you give the players, the better. Again, if you have any concerns about that, let me know down below what you think. Could be a potential issue. I think I saw the big concern that some people had was being able to take like Vados and put it on their team with like Gohan, because even though Vados is for God Key only for support, her ability to add boost and damage actually is for everybody. The actual aspect of requiring God Key when you switch from her is you need to have God Key on the team, and then she also does a killing aspect of it. So in theory, you could run Vados with someone like Zenkai Gohan. Can I get the new unit? And that could be a problem. But again, I don't know how it's going to work. They really detail it out. So until we actually see how it works, it's kind of tough to figure out what their goal is. So again, let me know your thoughts down below in regards to what you think about this leader system. And yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be good. It looks like it's going to be fun. And worst case scenario, if it sucks in the beginning, they'll expand to make it better.
I will say this. I don't want to hear a first impression day one. I say we should all, from content creators to just people who play the game, from no matter who or what you are when you play this game, I prefer you to let it sit for a week at least. At least a week or two. Wait until a season starts and wait until a season ends so you can have a complete diagnostic, a good point of view, basically. Let's put it like that. You'll have a good idea of how it works to its to a full extent. That's my whole thing. I hope that's how it works out. Because we a lot of times immediately do it as soon as the person comes out. Like I've already done it so far for like characters, and I said the same thing for Tournament of Power. I didn't like it. I just played it just to do it. I'm actually starting to like it more as time goes on. I can't wait for it to be fully finished, to where it's no longer just this giant experiment, where it's a full-fledged thing that we just have now. Because right now it's something we just have, but it's not fully finished. They're still working out the kinks. They're looking at a lot of aspects of it. I like this for Legends, and it makes this a better game the more it evolves. Yes, it's not going to be at the same base where it was at the very beginning. It's rolling. It's going to have its stoop. It's going to have its low moments. But as long as eventually it goes up higher to make it a better game, better than Dokkan makes it better than even Fighters. Because Fighters has been kicking Legends' butt on a lot of different aspects. They have tournaments, and we have tournaments too, but they're not official tournaments. They're like, people, you want to join my Discord? My Discord.
Next summer around. So that's something that's very, very important. Is whenever we get these updates released in these games, we gotta let them know, like, yo, this ain't it. This ain't it. So when those servers come around, for the love of God, do them. I mean, you should do them anyways. You get crystals for it. We're gonna skip this. This is going to be trash. Look at that, garbage. I hate this Goku so much because I pull him all the time when he comes back around. Yeah, I'm here with you. If I don't pull Oob or Goku right now, I'm not even gonna really go in. I mostly want to do some of it to kind of talk about these new changes that are happening because number one, people have been asking about it too. It's kind of like something good to talk about. I'm gonna skip this as well because we got look at that, nothing again. It's the same. It's either Vegeta or Goku. Vegeta or Goku. Come on, man. But yeah, I love when they improve games and something that also does like a drastic change in regards to like, you know, giving players freedom and stuff like that. And I see a lot of potential for the future of Legends if they do this right. Again, it might not be spot on in the beginning. It might be terrible in the beginning. But the good news is they're willing to listen and expand and figure it out. And you better believe, ass, that if anything goes wrong with these updates, me, Goresh, Rai, everybody are going to be frame one on Discord like, Toshi, what are you doing? Stop this. But yeah, so we'll see what's gonna happen. But any concerns you guys have, let me know down below and kind of use this as an opportunity to kind of discuss this. And the whole point of this video mostly is because I want to talk about this. By the way, I forgot to ask in the beginning, if you are interested in this banner, are you Team Goku, Team Oob, or Team Nobody? I'm assuming nobody right now. I'm assuming not many people are gonna be interested in these banners just because it's an all-star banner and we know August is here in like a day or so, which means we're going to get a new LF in like 2 weeks probably. And you're probably better off building up your crystals waiting for that. I mean, first of all, this banner is going to be around 2 weeks. So if you wanted to see what the next LF is first and decide then, come on, man. By all means, go for it. But if you do happen to be interested between Goku and the Oob, let me know who you're for and why. And then, yeah. Like I said, they're both great units. You know, with characters like Oob and Goku, GT Super Saiyan Goku,
I guess I'll just let it fully play out because like we got 8 minutes left. How long have I been recording? Hold on, let me say that. Oh my gosh, 30. I'll let it play out and we'll chime in when we can. Other than that, I think this is pretty much it for me. I just want to see what he got. I just want to see what he pulls from this point forward.
You gotta do something that's crazy with them. Otherwise, people are just gonna skip it. Is this gonna be trash? Are we gonna get anything in this video? At least we get guaranteed sparkings. At least we're getting guaranteed sparking, so it's not as depressing seeing these all hero multis. But one pod in space, I'll get it. Well, yeah, it's GSP anyway. I'm already thinking like one pod is gonna be nothing. Good news is when you get all-star banners, you can expect GSPs at least, so it's not the worst. But you know what's still sucks? Not getting the Goku. If I get the Goku, I'll tell you right now, I'm immediately going to grab 2,000 from the missions pass and just, I don't know, get them to like, 4 or 5 stars, whatever the actual numbers are after you do it, because again, it's worth it. You pull it once and then you basically power it up, like why not? Vegeta! This is gonna be ass. That's fine. If I'm gonna get shafted in this game, I'd rather get shafted right here because this is something that I'm not as excited about. But like I said, I mostly just want to kind of discuss and sit down and talk about what's happening in the game. I'm actually excited. I was talking about this the other day. That video was something I scrapped. Like we're in this weird place with Legends right now where we don't know what the craziness is going to happen right now is, because it's like leading up to like May, you're waiting for the anniversary, and then as you get closer to like the end of the year, you're waiting for like the Christmas release or like Black Friday. But like we're in this period where it's literally about to be August, and we have until basically Black Friday where it starts getting crazy. So it's like, what's happening? And I assume that's what this period is they're going to plan out by doing stuff like this where they're letting us know that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and these updates are coming, and then potentially it's going to be a lot of craziness. But again, until we get that, it's like, yeah, I guess I'll keep playing. Where my Kabiras at? Let me get something I can have some fun with in the meantime. What we got? We got Vegeta standing like me, dope. Yo, this ain't it. But yeah. Overall,
one other thing I should tell you, If we have any Naruto Blazing fans that are watching the channel or anything like that, I will state this: treat this like Naruto Blazing. Do not just waste everything you have on every banner. You will have, in my personal opinion, you probably should summon one time, and if you get somebody cool, dope. But if you know that you're gonna have enough time to replace and get another 1,000, I suggest you only do it once, maybe twice. I wouldn't suggest the third time. I would only suggest two at max. The only reason is because, like you said, there are bigger things coming. There are better people coming. This is just more of a this will be considered a hidden gem eventually. This is where this is gonna probably hit like a few characters, because we're gonna probably get a lot more banners like this. That we're gonna have a lot more hidden gem type characters that people will think, it's fine, we'll skip it, and then they're misconstrued it, and then they're like, oh no, this was actually a good character. What happened? How do we not notice this? Like stuff like that's gonna happen. Because we have YouTubers, as you know, we have a bunch of YouTubers that play different games, and as long as they play different games, they're going to test out different things to make new content every day. Meaning that, let's say, you're always going to be notified how such and such is so good and how such and such is so bad, and how they're really good if you put them like this, but they're also really bad if you have them like this. So I would suggest maybe 2 summonings, and that's not counting the singles, because I would tell you to always do singles. If they have them, always do singles. If you never want to do a multi, always do the singles once every day. I'm definitely summoning twice on my Japanese account because my Japanese account is lacking, and because I have Wi-Fi to do it for a little bit. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Like I will tonight. Like when one hits, I'm supposed to be getting 1,000 chrono crystals from me coming back to the game and stuff. So I'm gonna get my 1,000 tonight when one hits, and then I'm gonna do this one more time, and then I'm probably not gonna touch that account for a little bit longer. I'm probably just gonna log in every day, and that'll be pretty much the end of me for that. But yeah.
Like I said, I mostly just want to hear from you guys and see where you guys stand with everything, and then we can, discuss it. Again, feedback is very, very important because it goes into the future of the game and anything that you guys